Welcome back to Going Solo. I'm Rick, and this week we will be continuing with Final Girl once again with the Poltergeist series at the Carnival of Blood. So, just a few rules reminders. The Poltergeist has no health, cannot be attacked, but some of her tarot cards can. And our goal, since she can't be killed, our goal is to find Carolyn, who is hidden in the item decks somewhere, and escape with her. Camera's a little bit off. There we go. Alright, and then so let's move on to the Carnival of Blood, which also has some special rules. Those rules are within the item decks and the tarot cards are traps hidden. So of course when a trap is drawn, its effects happen immediately with the item cards. And even if it is a situation where I get to draw two and pick one of the item cards, if a trap is drawn within one of those two, that trap triggers, but I still do get the other item. Now I am using one of our overflow boards as well, because the setup card that we've got here, which is No Laughing Matter, has 4 victims on this tiny little space. So I'm going to go ahead and use a overflow board for that. So we do have 4 victims there. They are just over here. So, without further ado, let's get started. While the threat of Carolyn being abducted never fully went away, the Johnsons were getting more comfortable with the risks. Especially since, so far at least, she had always been found and returned to them. So they began to get back to being a bit more like a normal family. They went out to eat, took family outings, and more or less got back to being like any other family. But Carolyn's mother couldn't shake the uneasy feeling she had. So when Carolyn was invited by one of her friends to go to the carnival, Mrs. Johnson said no. Carolyn didn't understand and was very upset. She begged daily for permission to go, and after several days, Mrs. Johnson finally gave in. Carolyn's friend June, along with June's mom and older sister Asami, came to pick her up that night, and they all headed to the carnival. This was the opportunity the Poltergeist had been waiting for. What better place than the carnival, especially this carnival, to entrap Carolyn's soul once and for all. The first hour passed and the girls were having a great time. But then Carolyn noticed something peculiar. Besides her and her friend's family, everyone was dressed as a clown. In that moment, someone or something swept her up, threw her over their shoulder, and ran off into the crowds. She screamed and saw June and Asami running after her. But then her abductor ducked into a building, and everything went black. When Carolyn opened her eyes, Helen Creech's eyes were inches from her face. She laughed her ghostly laugh, then turned and flew, dissipating from view. Carolyn knew she'd be back. She just hoped June and Asami would find her first. Alright, so we start, I need to flip some item cards here. So we have the first aid kit at the Forest of Horrors, the crystal ball at the House of Mirrors, and mysterious pills and things to astonish. And this particular scenario has 2 starting events. The first is Clowns Everywhere. During the upkeep phase, victims in the big top and any adjacent spaces panic. If they panic into the space with the enemy, they are killed immediately. So that can cause problems. I just need to try to avoid that as much as possible. And our second starting event is Did You Follow Me Here? So this places 4 new victims at the big top. So I need some more victims and probably another overflow board. So we'll go ahead and put out another overflow board here, which gets 4 additional victims. One of them is a special victim who is your plucky younger sibling. While the sibling is in your space, you may spend 2 time to reroll 1 dice. If the sibling dies, it counts for 2 horror. Not horror, bloodlust. So we've actually got 6 people at the big top. And let's see, where's our little token? Here it is. That associates that to that space over there. Alright, so let's get started. We'll get my 0 cost cards here. My starting hand. Put this back up here. And let's go. Alright, so we're going to start as usual when we're playing against the Poltergeist with focus. We do have 2 dice right now. So let's go ahead and see if we can get that horror level down. It is a partial, so I'll discard the weak attack and short rest to make it a full success. And then we'll focus again. And we got another full success. Okay. So we did get to the 3 dice. However, I am already in a search spot, and this is going to be a search-heavy game because I've got to find Carolyn, which is going to be interesting because of the traps, but I'm not going to move. So I'm going to end my turn there, and I'm going to grab a search card for 2 points, and a sprint card for 2 points. Now these will all go back over here, and we'll move on to the Poltergeist's turn. Alright, so the Poltergeist gets to move and attack, and her movement right now is 2. So she could either get here, here, or to me. She's going to go for the largest group, which means she's going to go to the big top. And she's going to kill 1 person. That increases our horror level, which means already we've lost our 3rd dice. And now she gets a terror card. Carolyn, where are you? If Carolyn is not with you, discard and draw the next terror card. She's not. So, we get a different terror card. Where the hell did those blades come from? So this is one of our traps. So we place the spinning blade floor trap token on my space. Immediately apply the trap's effects to you and any victims in your space. Okay, so the trap's effect is roll 2 dice. For each result, do the following. Okay, so I rolled a 3 and a 5. So for the 3, I take 1 damage. And the 5 allows me to move 1 space. Whenever a terror trap card, okay. Whenever you enter or are in a space with a trap token, suffer the following effects. So I kind of hope she's not there because... Whew. But luckily I'm starting there so I can use my search and hopefully see what is there. We'll see though. Alright, and then for each 1 to 4 that I rolled, which I did roll a 3, increase the horror by 1. Alright. Alright. So. Yeah, it says you may move 1 space, and I'm choosing not to. So, okay, we're good there. So, the Poltergeist did kill. So we have 5 victims here to roll for. Just to keep it fair, I'll roll for the little sibling first. That is a 1. So the little sibling goes this way. And then I will roll 4 dice for our yellow victims. Alright, so I got 2 2s. So 2 of them go over here with these guys. And then I got a 5 and a 6. One of them goes down here, and one of them goes over here. And there's nobody left on that, so we can remove that for now. Put it back on there in case we need it. Alright, so that is our panic phase. Now it is our upkeep phase. In our upkeep phase, any victim that's in the big top or adjacent to it, which is all of these people, panic. So let's start with our sibling and hope she doesn't die here. With a 2, she did not. She moved to the House of Mirrors. So let's check the House of Mirrors. Alright, so with a 6, they go down to the clown car. Then we got this guy over here. With a 3, goes back to the big top and immediately dies. Dark power is revealed. Eternal despair. Whenever you resolve a horror roll, lose time for every 1 showing on the die. Alright, and then we got 6 over here. So let's just go ahead and roll them all together and see how many of them die first. Alright, so I've got a 1 here. Two 2s. So 2 of them came over here with me. Victim enters or is in this space with a token, trap token, they are killed. So these 2 are killed. A 3. That one's killed. A 5 and a 6. Alright, so Bloodlust has shot up in this first turn. Now we are back to my turn again, finally. So I'm going to go ahead and search first. Let me take some of these dice out of here. I'm going to go ahead and search first. Oof. I'm going to get rid of the 2 walk cards. No. That's not an option. Because they are both complete failures. So, horror goes up. And I lose 2 time. Let's go ahead and try to sprint. Get away from here. That's 1 success, so I get to move 2 spaces. I lose a time. So if I get to move 2 spaces, I'll move 1 and 2, save this person, and reduce the horror level by 2. I've got 3 left, which is just enough for a distraction. But will it be enough? Probably not. But I'm going to go for it. Do I want the distraction or do I just want to move and search the haunted house? Let's take the other search card and a close call. Sprint and search go back. Alrighty. Make sure I'm still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm still below the 10 limit. And now it is Helen's turn. So let's see, move and attack again. She's going to move towards the most people, so that's this way, and she kills 1. We get a tarot card. Did that clown just move? A clown doll appears. You may play action cards that inflict damage if you wish. Then, if the clown doll is still alive... So let's see... I do have a weak attack, so let's go ahead and play that. Come on. Oof. I'll give a walk and short rest. I'll discard a walk and a short rest to deal 1 damage, which means that the clown is dead. Alright, so if the clown is still alive, then I take damage. If you take damage, you bloodlust, and then the clown disappears. So I avoided taking any damage from that. Okay. So that was her horror card. She did... that was her terror card. And then she did kill, so we do have somebody to panic. They panicked with a 4, which means they go back to the big top. And then, at the end of the round, everybody panics. So let's see what we got here. We have a 3 for our siblings, so they go to the big top. And then our other guy gets a 1. So they are going to go into the poltergeist space, and bloodlust goes up. All right. So let's go ahead and try to walk. Of course it's a failure. I'm going to go ahead and take the 2-time penalty to re-roll that. And I did succeed. So I do get to move 1 space. Then I'm going to search. Oh, after that 1 space, I would have lost a time. Of course, nothing. Horror level goes up, and I lose 2 more time. So I'm going to stop there. Take a close call, because that's all I can afford. And all of these cards go back. I'm not doing very well right now. Okay. Now it's her turn again. So she gets to move and attack the closest victim, which of course means the little sibling. And since it was the sibling, the bloodlust goes up 2, which means I take a damage and discard the next terror card. And now she gets a terror card. I'm all wrapped up and I can't get free. Place the rope trap. Geez, I'm putting traps on all of the search spaces that I need to search. Not looking good for me. Alright. So before that though. So she moves towards me and attacks. Her attack power is 3, which is going to destroy everything. And I have no final health token. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the absolute shortest game that I have played ever in my life. So I guess thanks for watching, and have a good day.